Oh, hello there. Welcome to best of all the recent deals, best of the recent demonstrations and inspiration as well. I hope you're having a fabulous Saturday, whatever you're up to. It's absolutely balmy here in the northeast of the UK, and we have got so many great deals coming up for you in this show. Now, something else that I need to let you know about is a really special deal we've got running up until midnight tomorrow. What you can do is spend £30 or $30 or more, will give you an extra 10% off. That means that in the best of, some of these deals are going to be even better than when you saw them in the actual shows. Now, as always with the best of, if you really enjoy anything that I'm about to share with you over the next hour or two, then you can go back on the website and watch the whole show. You can go back and shop on the show as well if you want to. www.crafterscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu. Right, let's dive in, and we're going to dive in and look at an absolute essentials from one of our recent masterclasses. It's the Score Master and the Envelobox Creator. Take a look. It's a Score Master board and Envelobox Creator bundle for you, £18 or $23. So this, I'm guessing, Sarah, will be perfect for, well, making boxes for anything to go in, I guess.
Well, why don't we just do one for the box that we've just made? Right, so if we want to do an envelope box for the box that we've just made, let's go right back to the very, very beginning, okay? So first thing is we need to measure our box. So if I lie it flat, I've got my measurements on my glass mat here. So if I just put this down, this is 7 inches by 7 inches. Well, I did say I was cut into 7 inches, didn't I? So my box is 7 inches. And I reckon, looking at that, about half an inch should do it. About half an inch depth. So if you get your Envelobox Creator out, what you're going to do is you've got all of the instructions first of all. Then if we go to the inch section, so here we start with our inch, there's all of your ones for the flat envelopes, and here's the ones for a half an inch. So I've said half an inch should do the trick for this one. So we turn over to the half an inch. Now, if you want to do 7 by 7, let me just show you. I'm going to have to just improvise here with some bits of cardstock. We come down, here's your 7 inch line here. And then here is my 7 inch line coming along here. So 7 by 7 tells me I need to be in this square here, which says 11 1/8 of an inch. Lines J and J. It's always the same line twice if you're doing a square. So we're doing 7 by 7. So it's line J, 11 1/8 of an inch. It's really important that if we say 11 1/8, you cut it to 11 1/8, not 11 and a little bit, or 11 and a quarter, because my thing only works in quarters. You need to cut it to 11 1/8. So I think I'll use that nice baby blue that we've got. The A3 is brilliant for these envelope boxes. So large guillotine I'm needing here, I'm going to come to 11 1/8 of an inch over here. Let's get that lined up beautifully. 11 1/8, and trim it down, and then I'm going to go 11 1/8 the other way. Perfect, and trim it down. And trust me, my dad sat and hand worked out every single one of these sizes. So if he says 11 1/8, 11 ain't good, like almost there, isn't going to cut it. So 11 1/8, and it said line J, didn't it? So we come in with our scoring tool, and just to remind you, we're going 7 by 7, 11 1/8 J and J, and use position 1 and 2. So this position 1 and 2 relates to these steps here, which is all about how deep your envelope box is. So we go right into the corner, that's position 1, and we're going to use J. Then we're going to go into position 2, because it says you need to use position 2, and position 2 is your position for your half an inch, and we're going to score J again. Then you turn around, do the opposite corner, same line on the opposite corner. So we're going to go again, we're going to go J, we're going to go into position 2 and do line J, and then on the other two sides we're going to do exactly the same, into here, J and then J, and you'll find that the lines will just about cross each other, and that's the trick for how this whole thing is going to come together. So
loads of love for this large cardstock on the in the comments. I need this A3 for the envelope, says Stacey. Ooh, Giant Centura Pearl in colours, Anne said. And Sonia saying thank you for putting this on the show today. Sonia also saying I love your shirt, thank you. Cheryl is also saying, oh, seeing the video reminded me of Fiona and Jan. How are they? they're both doing really well, actually. I'm sure they'll be back here in no time at all. But I'll send them both your love. I need to let you know about the Floral Boutique, the extra die that we, die and stamps collection that we had for you for the pop-up boxes. 40% of that has gone individually. You know the happy birthday? This one is going the same way as that. A lot of people still asking about cutting, how you round off the corners seems to be the bit that people are struggling with, Sarah.
So, well, I've just cut that corner out there. I can show you how we round it. All I do is literally take my scissors and just round there. Now, I can do that one. What I can't do now is this one. It's a bit awkward. So I just flip it over and I do exactly the same to round off that one. Can you see? And if you don't get it first time, you just try it again. So I'll show you that again. On this corner, I'm just going to round off that edge and then flip it over. And you can round off this edge again. Now, you only round off 2 of the edges when it comes to an envelope box, because what you need to do on the other 2 is cut up and cut your little notch out, because we're going to use this as your gluing flap. Now, can you see? We're going to do the same there. We're going to go at the bottom and cut that little bit out, and we're going to make a gluing flap for it. So once we've got our flap, I'm just going to come in, a little bit of tape on those 2 little gluing flaps, and then also on the edge, it's going to be the bottom part of our box, just coming right up the edge there. So then these here, you go fold over the corners, and we're just going to stick that in place like you would if you were doing a box. And then the 2 edges come in, and these just stick over top of those 2 edges. So 1, and then the second one in there as well, and it gets my whole envelope box held together. And that will be exactly the right size for the box that we've just made. So 7 inches will fit into there. It doesn't make an envelope box that's 7 inches. It makes an envelope box that will fit a card that is 7 inches. So it always makes it a tiny little bit bigger. And now you've got that perfect. We went with 1/2 inch. So you've got absolutely the perfect size. So if you were wondering, how do I gift these? This is how you do it. You need your A3 card, and you're going to be using your envelope box creator to do your A3 pop-up boxes.
Absolutely fantastic. Loads of you commenting away still. Teresa over on YouTube saying how much she loves the pop-up box collection. Now, the pop-up box collection is really busy. Something else that is really busy is our fancy fonts, stamps and dies. And these are always busy whenever we bring them to you. So what you've got here, it's a die and stamp set. And what it does is it die cuts the middle element that you can see here, that lovely element there. And then what it does is it cuts, I'm not sure if you can see there, but it stamps then all of those stamped sentiments around it. So it's all about you building up a custom sentiment. So for love, for instance, you can have things like is a beautiful thing and kisses, story is the best, you is in the air. So loads of these. I've got all of those customizable sentiments there on. So it's all about you making something beautiful. So you've got thinking with things like and sending, happy thoughts, lots of love. So you've got in here love, thinking, special, you've got family. And again, you're getting the sentiments that you can build up using the stamps with every single one of these. You've got friend, then there is thanks, you've got birthday, celebrate. We also have, there's loads in here, sympathy, and you've got happy, and then sorry's in there too, smile, and then love. Now 20% of the stock of these is already gone. £50 or $60 gets you all 12 of them, and you're saving 30% on those. So it is a really great way of getting hold of those. And I think sometimes as well, if you struggle maybe for what to put on the outside of a card, with that you've got something that you can customise very easily for whoever you're giving it to. Oh, what a fantastic show. That was not just the Score Master and the Envelope Box Creator. Very posh, wasn't it? Score Master and the Envelope Box Creator. Also those gorgeous fancy fonts. All the deals still live right now over on the website. Now, remember, we're live with you here 7 days a week now on Crafters TV. And on a Wednesday in the evening in the UK, 11 AM on the East Coast, we have our sort of, I don't want to call it a beginner's show. It's a bit of a, it's not even a back to basics. It's more of a, we can all learn together from the start kind of show. It's Creative Cravings, and here are some of the highlights from one of the most recent episodes.
Now I'm going to get started with the cut and emboss folders. So can you see each one of these, when I open it up, you've got, like, this is like a regular embossing folder. This is basically all these are dies. So you've got each individual die for the letters. So you're going to get this lovely embossed detail on here, and it's going to cut out the word friend at the same time. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to show you this sort of card here, where we have all the embossed background, but the word friend all cut at the same time. And you can be doing anything with the friend word. It can be for a friend's birthday, it can be with love, it can be a thinking of you, so many different occasions. Now, what I have done, Joe, already getting ready for this demo, is I've created myself an inky background. So I'm going to hopefully be touching on some of this stuff. I mean, we've got a whole show on inky backgrounds next week in our Colour Me Happy. So if you want to learn how to do these sort of techniques, make sure you tune in. I've done loads of these before, but I've basically done a 5x7 piece of watercolour and just given it the inky background. And I've had to pre-do it because it needs to be bone dry for me to do this technique. So now it's nice and dry. Can you see that it's cut to exactly the same size as my embossing folder? Now, with these embossing folders, they are a regular embossing folder, which means your 2 outer Gemini plates. So this is going to sandwich between your 2 plates. However, if you want to slightly deeper emboss, which I always like to, I add my metal plate. I'm only adding it in as an extra shim here, not because it's metal or whatever, just putting it in as a shim. And then a bit of a tip. Instead of having your folder going like this, you can just slightly offset it. So then it's not kind of coming off your machine all in one go. It's kind of going to ease off a little bit more. So you get less of a clunk when it comes out. So it doesn't affect in any way the performance of the embossing folder. It's just sometimes, I know a lot of people say, oh, I hate that clunk. It sounds like I'm breaking my machine. You see, the clunk wasn't too loud there. That's because it just clunked a tiny bit off the edge as opposed to clunking off the whole lot at once. If that makes sense. Now, when I lift this out, can you see? There we go. I've managed to almost leave all of the die pieces. So all of these, they will come in handy, and you can pop them all out if you want and use them. It's like another word that you've got. You could use it on another card. So just make sure, I always get confused with the D's and how the D's go. So make sure you take it out and put it back together how it came out. So there's end, and then E-end, oh, here's another one that always gets confused in the R. So just take it out in multiple sections. This is only going to be if you're going to use the rest, which I'm not. I'm just showing you it now because they look really, really pretty. But can you see? So there's friend, and then our F on the edge as well. So that is my waist, which is a nice bonus, because if you were doing this for a card, you would probably, that's the bit you would use, and this would be the waist. Now, it looks a little bit plain, Joe. You can't really see the embossing, and what really shows it well is when you get our gilding wax out. So I'm going to get a bit of gilding wax on there.
Obviously, the best way to get the best value is to go for that main collection. If you did want to grab a couple of them, though, 2 for £20 or $23, details along the bottom of your screen there. So it's completely up to you. You've got a price point for everyone in this show, so it's up to you how you grab them. That's looking beautiful. I especially love that background.
You can just see how it starts to really show up, can't you? And with gilding wax, the best way to apply it is just with your fingers. So you're just giving it a little bit of a rub over. You can always go and add more. You can't take it off. So what you should refrain from doing is thinking, oh, I'll dip loads in and rub it all over, because then you'll just turn it into a metallic card, and you want the sheen on. So can you see how we can see the design up there now? You can't really see the one down here. That's because I haven't, that just shows you the difference that the gilding wax makes. And when we give that a rub over, look how it just starts to come to life. So if you're wanting to do easy cards, that's why I chose this one for my kind of creative cravings pick of the show, because people who are just getting into this, I think with these embossing folders, all you need, however you want to create your inky background, and just a little bit of gilding wax onto there, and the whole thing comes together. And you can see the shine on that gilding wax when you tilt it to the light. So all I'm going to do from there, Joe, is just mount this up onto a base piece of card. So when you're doing, oh dear, I got my foam pads out earlier. I don't know where I put them. Hey, I'm such a liability, Joe. Okay, so maybe we won't foam pad it, and we'll do some 3D glue gel. It's exactly the same technique, it just takes a little bit longer to do. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to layer that up onto a little bit of the green cardstock. So I'll just layer this up while you can let me know if there's any questions coming in.
Oh, well, there's loads of people. Oh, we've got a new viewing country, I think. Janet says hello from Singapore. I think she might be our first ever. What's the word? Is it Singaporean? I think that's what, if you're from Singapore, you're Singaporean. Do you know what?
Is that right, or have you just made that up? It sounds like it might be something you just made up.
I think it is Singaporean. Is it Singaporean or Singaporean? Let me know in the comments, Janet, please. I'd love you to let me know. Loads of you saying, Antonia saying, I'm not a newbie, but I just love watching you two. So can I watch? Absolutely. All of our shows are open to absolutely everyone. Suzanne is loving my shirt as well. Maybe I need to get some more sort of like lively shirts. I don't know, John. Maybe John will get a bit annoyed. No, he's the big shirt man. So I'm usually the pastels and darks man. But
I think you can pull off a strong shirt, Joe. I think you can absolutely pull off a strong shirt.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, get yourself some new jazzy shirts.
Some new jazzy shirts. Right, I'll work on it. And Norlita's saying hi from Denmark as well. Loads of you saying hi. Someone saying, Amelia saying, would love a graduation card sentiment. Please put it on the list.
Oh, graduation card. That sounds like
graduation card sentiments. Okay, we'll add it to the list. Leanne is in on Monday, so maybe we can pop the idea to her then as well.
Right, I'm making an easel card here, Joe. So what I've done is I've taken a piece of A4, or if it's 8.5 by 11, you just put the halfway score line and halfway through this part. So can you see it gives you that fold? So basically it's folded in half, and then what's left is folded in half as well. And then you put glue on just the bottom half here, and you cut another piece of card to exactly the same size, and that is going to stick over top. So what happens is it sticks on the base part of here as opposed to on the whole part. So what that then means is you get an easel card. So if I show you that from the side, you can see it goes flat. I'll just wait, we get on the your close-up camera here. So there we go, flat. And then when you open this up here, can you see it? That's what gives you the easel shape. So I've done another one of those fancy, the patterned background, and just matted and laid it. That is going to go on the base. Now, best glue, if you're doing your matting and layering, I'm getting into glue school here. We need our Leanne if we do a glue school, don't we? So what you want to do is for flat gluing, I'm going to use my Collal all-purpose. So we have these on the website. Go and have a little look, because watch what you can do. You can put this down and you can manoeuvre it into place. So by manoeuvring, I get little bits of glue all over, and it sticks all over really nicely. So that's the base bit, and then I'm going to do the same with the front. It's a little bit harder to manoeuvre because I don't want to press down on this one because I've got my 3D glue gel on there. So pop the Collal all-purpose on here. I used to have some ladies, who bought that Collal all-purpose 20 bottles at a time, Joe. I kid you not. They're like, they just find it so easy for doing all of that manoeuvring, getting everything just perfectly into place first time. So there's that. And then the rule is when you do easel cards, is you need something to hold it in place, because obviously it's going to fall down otherwise. So I always just stamp an extra sentiment. I've already got that one with my foam pads on the back. So when we stand this up ready, friend, happy birthday, and then that's going to form that stopper, so that the whole thing holds together and you get that shaped easel. But how quick and easy was it using the shaped the cut and emboss, because it's all done in one. Now, that is just one of the designs. Let me show you all the ones that we've got in the set. So we've got friend. We've also got congrats. So we didn't do congratulations because it would be a bit too long. That's that same gilding wax on there. How good does this look on a big one? So can you see this is onto a piece of acetate, just another patterned background. That is looking absolutely spectacular. You've got the birthday. So we've got the birthday one there onto another one of those, splodgy backgrounds. Splodgy backgrounds work brilliant for this. There's your congrats again on just a one where we've sanded away the top. Love is always one of the most popular in this collection, and it leaves the O as a little heart and just cuts out the others. I think that's really cute. Home's the same, you'll see when we get to home. It has a little picture for home. This is all just an inked background with your Harmony water reactive inks. Don't just think card making. This is just on the front of a box. How cute's that front of a box? A little bit more splodging on here with the love one. There's the home that I was telling you about. So can you see it just has the little house, and I think this is very of the moment, Joe. So people who are making cards for people who are stuck at home, who need to stay at home, people who are self-isolating, it's really nice just to show someone you're thinking of them. And then this one here, I love this idea. It's like a little bit raised. So can you see it's a little bit raised, so you've got a bit of a bow front, and how simple is that? That is literally a simple base card, little bit of inking, little bit of gilding onto there again, and then a little flower at the bottom. Looks spectacular.
Oh, it's always great to get loads of inspiration on our Creative Cravings show. Remember, all of the deals are still live right now over on the website. We bring them all back for the best of. And remember, we've got that really special deal running this weekend up until midnight tomorrow, meaning if you spend over £30 or $30 or €30, you get an extra 10% off, and you can use that in conjunction with your club discount as well. Now on a Thursday, it gets fast, it gets furious. It's all about cartload. Here are some of the highlights.
Oh, I just absolutely love the shape cards. Now, we only have 3 of the shapes in stock. This is what happens, you see. The busier we get, the further we get into like lockdown, and the less we're just waiting for stuff to come back in. I mean, we have been really good this week. We've taken the decision to actually fly a lot of our stock in, and a lot of our suppliers are working round the clock. However, there's some things that we've just sold out of. So when it comes to these shape cards, we only have the 3 shapes left. Let me show you what we've got. We've got the fabulous cupcake, and I love the cupcakes because what you can do is you can either open them at the side like this one here, or you can have them where they are opening. This is another side one, of course it is. Is this one going to open at the top? Yes, or you can open them at the top. Can you see? So if I show you them up, this one's going to stand upright like this and open at the top. This one opens at the side like that. So that is your cupcake one. That's your first option. And remember, what you're getting is the cupcake die and the stamp set for £20. So £20 or $30 gets you the die and the stamp set. I'm obviously just showing you all 3 because it turns out, as I would have predicted, most of you are going for all 3. Then we also have the beer bottle. Now it can be a beer bottle, it can be a champagne bottle, it can be a Prosecco bottle, darling, like this one. It can be whatever you want it to be, bottle shape wise. So you can make this up however you want. I actually made a beer bottle box last time we demoed these. So you've got the beer bottle, and again you are getting the bottle along with the set of dies, the set of stamps that enable you to finish that bottle off. So that's your second option in here. Or the third one, which is my absolute favourite here, is the gorgeous dress. So how would you like to be making cards like these, where you've got this, and I love this idea with the lace. So fabulous wedding dresses, or you could be doing these with some fancy papers on if you want to be doing beautiful shape cards like these. Don't they look wonderful? Now, because we're going to use the Gemini, and because these dies are a little bit thicker to enable them to cut through 2 sheets of cardstock to do a shaped card, they also work brilliantly well if you want to cut them through fabric. So I'm going to do a lovely one where we cut through some fabric to put on the dress too. So let me just show you how we're going to get going here. I'm going to start off first of all with a sheet of card. So if you start with your cardstock, by the way, these look fabulous if you use double-sided card. And obviously we've got the double-sided card available today in my Sarah special with my pick of the items. So what you've got is, if I just fold this in half, always score and then fold it away from itself like this. So you've got that gorgeous pink, and we can be taking the die, oh my life, where have I put my die? There it is. We're going to take the die, you see this? And instead of positioning it all on the card, I'm going to pop this just over the top. So if I turn this over, can you see the die's just popping over the top there? So if you get that and then hold it in place with a little bit of tape, and again, nice little top tip here, pop your tape over the edge like this. So can you see? Going to pop the tape over the edge like this, and this is going to cut out perfectly. So we'll cut this out perfectly, and this is the exact right size to go through our Gemini Junior. So are you ready? We're going to cut through 2 layers of cardstock into the base. So you need your base, you need your clear plastic shim, you need your magnetic shim, and then you're going to put your top plate on there as well, and that is all going to go through. Now, I'm just going to try and see if we can find out a stock update for you on that cardstock, because honestly, at £18 or $24, that's for the £18 or $24, it's worth it just to get the card. So, you buy this, what do you get free, Joe?
You get this free. So you get the papers. Look, those metallic papers.
We make such a good double act, Joe, don't we?
We do, don't we? Forget what can you name some iconic double acts? Engine bracket, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, everybody in the US no idea who I'm on about with Ant and Dec. But all you UK lot know Ant and Dec. Move aside Ant and Dec. Up for TV double act of the year. It's going to be me and Joe this year.
What would you say to a small sherry?
To a what?
Hello, small sherry. That's a bracket and hinge quote.
Oh, right, I was thinking.
Sherry? Hello, small sherry.
What on earth about? Right, so...
Half the stock's gone.
Half the stock of these.
Yes.
I told you this was not going to last through till tonight. You get 20 sheets of the double-sided pink. You get 20 sheets of the amazing, this is the Snow White, which has got like a little hint of gold in there. You get 20 sheets of the gorgeous ivory, which I'm going to use next, and 20 sheets of that divine silver. That's what you're paying for. For free, you are then getting another 80 sheets of the paper. So this is absolutely brilliant for our gorgeous, so if you want a shaped card like this, how fabulous does this look made in the double-sided card? Like, I mean, come on. So that when you look through it, you can see the colour on the inside. So much more professional than just using it in regular. And honestly, guys, at this price, we can afford to be using the fancy double-sided card for our cards instead of just regular cardstock. If you're going to do it with the top end, with the Centura Pearl, all milled here in the UK. The double-sided finish looks divine. So that is my cardstock to get us started. Then I didn't realise when we planned the show that we were going to have the collal glues back in stock. If so, I would have just used tacky glue here. But look what I've done. I've already put some of our threaders. This makes your fabric adhesive. So I've done some of the threaders on the back. Now, if you're wanting to cut through fabric, our recommendation would usually be that you need to add your metal shim in. But actually, because we're going through fabric and then paper, this will cut through absolutely fine. So we're going to cut this through with the fabric. We're going to use exactly the same sandwich combination, and we're going to cut out our gorgeous dress. Now, not only do you get those pieces, but in the die set, you also get all of these pieces to go with it. Can you see this little fancy bit to go around the top and that? Let me show you what we're going to do with all of them. They look great on the gorgeous, they're like the ivory card that's in the show as well. Let's have a look. So here is my, don't tell me, look at that. I didn't quite get the edge in the machine. Here we go. Just going to cut that last little bit that I've just missed off with my die there. But you can see it's cut it perfectly. Now that, can you see we can have a whole dress, or we can say, do you know what, sweetheart, you can have your bodice cut off here and you can just have a nice skirt. Yes, I think you can have a nice pink top with a flouncy bottom skirt, or look what I have done, right? I've got two of them cut out, so I might stick one down flat and then I'll do one with a little bit of ruching. Yes, I'm going to do that. Right, Joe, I'm going to stick one on flat and one with a bit of ruching. You let me know what comments are coming in while I'm doing all my sticking.
Oh, absolutely, I will. Loads of you. Oh, someone's asking what is written on the mug. Well, let me show you. It's got written on here. Oh, let me bring it in there. I'll bring it in there for you. You're going to see. It's got Crafter's Companion, Superfan, Official. So you will officially be a super fan when you get your mug. £40 or $40 spend after your discount before shipping will get you that mug. However, I know that we don't have anywhere near enough mugs. A quarter of the mugs now have sold out and gone, with many, many more of you with eligible baskets heading directly towards the checkout. So please do be quick if you would like one of those. Oh, got a very interesting name as well. I do love an interesting name. I love that now our viewers have got used to telling me how to pronounce it in afterwards. So it says, my name is pronounced like Maria with a T. Taria. Ah, that was easy, wasn't it? Taria, lots of love from Tennessee. Sarah and Joe got the cardstock and the mugs. Thanks so much for all you do and bring us. We do need an addicts group. I have got so many wonderful crafty purchases on the way to me. Oh, Tammy is coming in from San Diego. She's a little bit late. She's just realising that she can get the free mug. So yes, miss it. Did I hear something about a mug? Yes, Tammy, but be quick. They are absolutely flying out. Loads of our regulars in, such as Rosalind and Roxanne, and Robin's here. Oh, Robin watched you do a enveloper tutorial last night from 10 years ago, Sarah.
Wow. Yes, how was I looking 10 years? Actually, don't tell me. I don't think I want to know. I'm not sure whether that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing.
And also,
10 years ago, Sarah. Wow.
Julie says that after she's been following Sarah since her first appearance on Create and Craft and is now a platinum member. How cute is that?
Who was that, did you say, sorry?
That is Julie right. Kimber.
So Julie, you are absolutely a super fan. Julie, please have a mug. Please let me send you a mug with my compliments. All you need to do is make sure you spend £40 or $40. Because I would say to you, Julie, I'd just send you one of these. But I have a feeling that by the end of the show, all of the mugs that we had are going to have been allocated to baskets. So I think, Joe, this one here and the one that you've got might be the last two. I hope to goodness they weren't counting them two in the stock that they're going to give away. How many of the mugs did you say had gone? Over a quarter of them now?
Over a quarter of the mugs gone. I don't think it's going to make it to the show. It's definitely not going to make it to the end of the day. Anne is saying, Anne, so don't put it, Anne's asking about the mug. You know, Anne that loves my horn from Connecticut. Yes, don't put it in the microwave and don't put it in the dishwasher. The reason being is that it's got this absolutely gorgeous foiling on the outside of it. See that there? See, look at all of that gorgeous sparkly foiled detail. So I don't want you to rub any of that off. Yeah, definitely have cups of tea in it, but just give it a rinse.
I mean, if you're a super fan, that doesn't mean you get an ordinary mug. Ordinary mug just ain't going to cut it for a super fan. So hence we did the special foiling on them, the limited edition ones. We ain't making any more. These are fabulous. Actually, we might have to make some more, mightn't we? Because we haven't got enough. We've now got more super fans than what we had when we started lockdown. So right. Okay, we'll try and make more of these, but these are going to be, I'm not air freighting these over, so you're talking 3 to 6 months to get more superfan mugs. So yes, it was.
Imagine how many mugs we'll need by then.
I know. It was Superfan Day, it might be Superfan Morning. Superfan morning. Happy Superfan morning.
Doesn't really have the same ring to it, does it? Robin says you look just as fabulous then as you do now, Sarah.
Oh, thank you. Just a bit more makeup needed these days. Cover these bags over. Right, there's my finished card, Joe. Isn't she fabulous? And remember, you can get just her, right? So you can come, and she comes as a full set of dies, and basically you buy the set of dies and you'll get the set of stamps for free. So you could go for just that one, or you could go for just the cupcake set, or you could go for just the bottle set, but actually none of you are. Everybody literally who is buying this is buying the whole lot. So 20% of the complete collection will still, after we sell out of the complete collection, we'll still have the individuals, you'll just be paying more. Because essentially, if you think, it's 20, 20, 20, so it should be 60, but you buy all three and you get the extra £10 off. I'm giving you the price in pounds. It's exactly the same calculated savings when we do it for you in dollars. So make sure you don't miss out. I've got loads more demos planned later on this evening with these gorgeous shaped card dies. But bear in mind, when these go, I don't know which of it is the low stock, but we did have 5 of these that I was demonstrating a few weeks ago. Now we're down to 3. After today, we might be down to 2 or just 1 of them. So if you do like all 3 of them, it's not a case of we're just saying, oh, well, you know, get them while the deal's on, because actually it's not just that after the deal's on, they'll be going back up to full price. We won't have all of them available.
Fast and Furious, our cartload shows. Always join us on a Thursday. We have a preview in the morning, and then we have the main event a little later in the day as well. 11 a.m. UK time in the morning, 4 p.m. a little bit later in the day. Now, what has fast become one of your favourite shows of the week here on Crafters TV is Colour Me Happy. You'll always find a great download on the website for it. We bring you wonderful colouring mediums as well. And the Queen of Spectrum Noir was here recently, Leanna herself, when we looked at our Aqua Blend pencils. Take a look.
I'm raring to go. I've actually just picked up a couple of pencils out of that starter kit and I've got the free download. So the free download this week, just so you know, we've got this gorgeous set of sunflowers. We've also got some lovely little sets so that you can print these out and place them together, being designed by our lovely Sarah. A lovely background piece. Now, yes, I've printed this out really, really big, but you could print this out even smaller. Same with the next one. These would look wonderful printed out smaller onto the front of a card. So we've tried to do some card making ideas, but I've printed them out at full size so that I can show you a little bit of blending technique. Now, I'm on just one of these flowers. I'm going to see if I can get you really zoomed in on just the flower, okay? And what I'm doing is I'm starting and I'm working with an orange and a yellow. Now, these are actually printed just onto our stamping card, but what you can do even better, if you get our watercolour card that's in the show, you'll start and see the fantastic results that you could get with all of these. Now, the pencils are nice and smooth, so I'm just laying down a little bit of that colour and I'm going orange and yellow, can you see? And then a little bit behind where we'd have the orange, putting in a little bit of shading here and then blending out to that yellow. So you don't have to be an expert, you're just colouring in, but can you see? You can see where the orange ends and the yellow starts. This is where you come in with just a little brush. So can you see I'm going to get some water on my brush, but then I'm going to take the excess water off onto my hand, because what you want is a damp brush, not a wet brush. So it's just a little bit damp now. And then as I start and just go over with that brush, what it does is it breaks down all of that gorgeous pigment and start and blends it together. So now you can see where I've worked on here, you can't see where the orange ends and the yellow begins. So it gets you that lovely ombre effect from one moving into the next. And this is why I say watercolour pencils, Joe, are the easiest for anybody just starting out, because as long as you've got a great quality watercolour pencil, you're going to be able to get this perfect breakdown of colour. Now you can't see at all where orange ends and yellow starts, because you've got pure colour pigmentation on here. Now, what I'm going to do as well is I'm now going to take a little bit of red, but because this is wet, what we can't do is colour onto the wet part now. So if you want to add a little bit of extra shading, what you do is you're going to take your slightly damp paintbrush, pick colour up directly from the tip of the pencil, and then just add some little red bits in. So can you see it? It's like paint now, but people are frightened of paint. People aren't frightened of coloured pencils because anyone can use a coloured pencil. So all I'm doing there is picking up some of the pigment from my coloured pencil and adding in an extra colour. So this is how, if you ever want to go back and add another colour to what you've done, you can easily add and deepen the colour. So I was looking at it and thinking, oh, that orange isn't quite deep enough. A little bit of red into there will make all the difference. And that just takes me on just talking about the actual pencils themselves. Now, there's different qualities when it comes to watercolour pencils. So let me just explain. Within our pencils, our whole ethos here at Spectrum Noir is that what we're going to do is you're going to be able to get artist grade products, but at crafter quality prices. So to put this into perspective, I'll get the details on the screen for you for that starter kit again, because that starter kit includes the primary pencil set. Now that's 24 pencils for you, all artist grade watercolour pencils. Now if you went into an art store and tried to buy artist grade watercolour pencils, you couldn't buy a tin of pencils for the £35, $49. You would be spending close to £50 for a pack of 24 artist grade pencils. And when we talk about artist grade, what we're talking about is that very high pigmentation of colour. So within each pencil, here's what you've got. You've got some of the actual colour itself, some of the pigmentation, and then to bind it all together, you've got like the binders that come with it. And quite often, because the pigmentation is very expensive, the cheapy watercolour pencils then get padded in with loads of other stuff that are called fillers. So things like talc and crushed down sawdust, small dust particles. So you've got a little bit of the pigmentation, load of the filler, all held together in the binder. Now that's why if you pick up some kiddies watercolour pencils that are really cheap, for example, and you try and colour with them, they're very scratchy on the paper, and you take a water brush to them and they don't blend and merge together. However, with these, you've got almost pure pigmentation, so that when they break down, let me just bring that one in again. When they break down, you'll see you're left with none of the scratchy stuff. They're very smooth in their lay down, but then you're going to get that perfect blend from one to the other. So I'm going to show you a last little bit with this one here, and then we're going to crack on. I'm going to show you a couple of the other things that we've got in the show before I start and get into some of my more advanced demos. This was just like the introduction bit for anyone who's a complete beginner. So here we go again. Going to pick up a little bit of the water, and I'm going to just blend all this down. That's what I love, is all of this where it breaks down into one base colour, and it's like a very, very intense, beautiful orange, and you'll see the intensity of the colours as we break them down.
Yes, absolutely. The starter kit, very, very busy. £35, $49, and you get everything you need, as you might expect, to get started. So you're going to get some of our amazing artist quality watercolour card, which is coming in this great pad, 20 sheets of that from Spectrum Noir. You're then getting 2 rubber stamp sets in here as well, which is fantastic. So you're getting Cherry on top, and you're getting Butterfly Meadow, which are 2 of our most popular. Going to work beautifully for you to stamp out and colour, and we're going to give you the ink pad that you need to stamp that out as well. So absolutely everything you need to get started. Within the primaries, these are exactly what you're getting here. So there are all the colours that you're going to be able to get started with. It's a 35% saving on this, £35 or $49. Now, really busy on this, also really, really busy on the larger collection too, because the starter kit's kind of like a bit of a dip your toe in, give it a try kind of situation, whereas I know a lot of you immediately seeing the value in this and saying, do you know what, I'm going to come in and I'm going to go for that large collection right away. If you're going for the large collection, you get everything I've just shown you. You also get the florals, which are just gorgeous. These are going to be fantastic for painting things like your exotic flowers. You've got the naturals in there also. And you've then got the essentials too, great for things like all of your different skin tones within there too. Now, £85 or $115, when you break it down and remove the extras that you're getting and just look at what you're paying for the pencils alone, it equates to about 62 pence per pencil, which is completely unheard of for pencils of this quality. It's over 40% is what you're seeing, whether you're here in the UK or you're in the US. We love Colour Me Happy. It's such a wonderful, positive, smiley, happy show. You guys always get involved and send us in loads of pictures as well, which we absolutely love. Now, something that happened recently is a one-off. Well, it's a one-off in the US. It was our US warehouse sale, and then because we had one in the US, we need to have one in the UK. Now, I mean, there is hardly anything remaining from it, but I did manage to find some foiling items that we still had, so I thought I'd pop them into this best of show. Here are the highlights. Take a look.
Right, okay. We've had a huge run on the foil press items that we've got on the show today. So there's 2 foil press items. I will run you through both of them, and then I'm going to start and do some demonstrations. Now, the foil stamp and cut collection, let me just show you. I'll try and put you the picture up on the screen so you can see all the designs. You basically get all 4 of these amazing stamp and cut dies. So you've got like the love heart one. Oh, let's have a little look at the picture anyway. It'll mean a lot more for you. You've got the heart design. You've got the oval burst, then you've got the star burst, and then you've got the fabulous like dotty with the happy birthday in the middle there. Now each one, if I just show you how they're coming to you, each one when you open it, you see, so this is the oval burst, it gives you that lovely burst, so it gives you the burst, you get a die cut and a thank you. So for example, that there gives you this sort of look here, where you get the beautiful burst of foil with the thank you, and you've got the, so if you want to do it, die cut it out. Doesn't have to be, so can you see it's done with an oval? Don't have to do it with an oval, you could just use a little circle in the middle as well. Now I love that one because look at this card that's been done here. So if I open this up, this has actually been burst several times in different colours. So can you see you've got one in the green, one in the red and one in the pink on there as well. Isn't that fabulous? So that is the Starburst. Let's have a little look. There it is, just nice and plain on its own. You can see how the light bounces off them. Don't just think about cards either. What about upgrading some of your little gift bags? So this was just a pretty plain, very inexpensive gift bag until Alison put the foil burst on it. So you get the oval, you also get the star one, which I think is incredibly useful. You also get, which may be my favourite, I don't know. I really like the subtlety of the square one because she's just got the little dots all around it. Look at it here, onto some marshmallows. Our director Laura, she's been doing marshmallows. She's been making homemade marshmallows today. We've been having homemade marshmallows for breakfast, believe it or not. Look at that, using up all your little leftover bits of foil to create like a multicoloured one. So it's just a great way of kind of drawing your eye into the centre. Or you've also got on that one the hearts. So fabulous, the heart. I mean, look at this idea here. How incredibly gorgeous is that? With the little love hearts, just drawing your eye in. Oh, there's the star again. There's the star, and the star done multiple times over. I'll try and show you that one to show you how all that works if you want to do like multiple times. I think they look a little bit psychedelic. So let's get all this. Tell you what, let's just do this. Just push all that out the way. Right, we'll tidy that up in a bit. I'm doing a JoJo. We're a bit of a mess over there. Right, I've got my foil press. And you see it if we're on the overhead. Have I got you in the right? Yes, let's have a look. I'll squidge you over a little bit so that I've managed to get it the right way up so that you can see all the times and we'll work to here. So I actually do need the dies though. Here they are over here. Your hard hat. Hiding all them roots today, we're all good.
I've had the husband comment of the day from Pam, the lovely Pam Craven, says that my husband Alan is transferring money to a slush fund craft account for me each month so I can keep buying. I use my yoga class money usually, but obviously with that being cancelled, I'm having to make it up from our joint account. I love the visions of Pamela saying that she's going to yoga, but actually just staying home and spending the money on craft instead. That's amazing.
Hey, brilliant. Right, let's have a look. I'm going to cut myself. Oh well, I'll get this put on here. Look, I've got some acetate out. I'm going to have a go foiling onto acetate. I figured if we were going to foil, let's go whole hog onto something awesome. So, foil stamp dies. Let's just come in, let's zoom it in. I'll zoom it in, Joe. Foil stamp dies. If I come down here, can you see acetate? 15mm acetate sheet. You want it on low temperature setting. For a medium one, you want 15 seconds. For a large one, you want 30 seconds. I'm kind of somewhere in the middle. So I'll go about 20 seconds, right? Here we go, 20 seconds. So then you get your foil piece. If we pop this on here and then press start, it's going to count down. Now, all you need to do is get a little bit of foil out. They're absolutely awesome, these. I think they might be, of all of the foil and dies that we've done, I don't want to say favourite, because you know I always have a lot of favourites.
They're my favourites.
They're your favourites, yeah. Are they? They're very, very usable. That's all I would say, very usable. Right, when you hear that beep, what we do is, we go face down with our foil. Then you pop your acetate. Now, when you fall onto acetate, it is worth popping in an extra shim. Well, I'll try it without. Oh, I'm going to try it without, see if we can get like a less indentation. And then I'm going to send it through. Now, if you don't have the foil presses will be back in stock. I believe it's back end of next week if you're waiting for a foil press. I'm doing a whole foil press masterclass next Wednesday, and we have a new foil launch on Monday morning. So it is a pretty awesome week when it comes to everything for, oh my, like, look at that. Look at that. And you can see there where that's all about. That is incredible. Do you want me to show you how you do the multiple colours?
Well, Anne is asking on Facebook now, you know, Anne who loves the whole, actually, do you know what? Just for you, Anne, one sec.
Oh!
Yeah, Anne is asking how you do the multiple coloured one.
Oh, here we go, Anne. Just for you. Look, see, it wasn't quite at temperature, so I'm just letting it warm up. I'm going to cut the next bit of the next colour one. All right. All we're going to do is we're going to pop that back on, do the start down, and we're going to do exactly the same, but we're going to slightly offset it. Can you see? So that's just counting down. I'm so a woman of no patience, right? So we're just going to have to give it a couple of seconds. So bear in mind, look how that's foiled onto that acetate perfectly. So for this size, I went with 20 seconds. Here we go. I'm going to go face down with this. Oh, make sure you're all covered over there. Yes, we're all covered over. Yep. And then let's have a look. I'm going to slightly offset that. Now, bear in mind, I wasn't really paying attention to what I was doing there, so it might not be perfectly lined up, but it's going to show you how you do the multiple colours. If you took your time and used the position, because it's got a positioning grid on the base, you could do all the positioning, and it works brilliantly well with the star and also the oval. Works fantastically well with the oval. So again, if we lift this off, and then when I pull this out, oh, it's worked a treat. Let's have a look at that on the white. Look how fantastic. It does look a little bit psychedelic, doesn't it? So you've got like the little, and I've got the star just appearing in the middle. I think that looks fabulous, right? So that's just how to, that's onto a little bit of acetate. What you can actually use, so these leftover bits, don't let them go to waste. I can show you how we can use all of those up. In fact, let's do that. So should we put this little bit down here? So if you're going to foil the waste, what you're going to do is you're going to put this on, we're going to reset it, and we're definitely going to go up to a minute and let it, pop that in there, up to a minute, there we go, and then give that a good countdown. I'm going to put it onto a little bit of black. So if we just cut a little bit of black out, you do need to make sure that this is nice and warm. So I'm going to pop a little bit, I'm going to pop an extra sheet of black in as a bit of a shim. I'm going to pop an extra couple of pieces of cardstock in as a shim, and what you do need is your magnetic sheet out of your Gemini. Now please, if you're wanting to learn more about foiling, go and set your reminder on your phone. Wednesday morning, I'm going to be up doing a whole foil press masterclass. So it's like an uber bumper masterclass. I've got loads of techniques to show you. If you've got any requests of things you'd like to know and learn about foiling, just let me know, and we can make sure we cover all of those in the Foil Press Masterclass, and that's on Wednesday. And bear in mind, on Monday, so Monday morning, tomorrow, I'm on Create and Craft launching some new foil sentiments at 7:30 in the morning. And I will be making sure, for those of you that miss the Create and Craft show, I will be working with those on Monday Makers tomorrow afternoon as well. So make sure you come in. If you want to learn a lot more about foiling, next week is a fantastic week, but don't miss out on these deals while we've got them on, okay?
And Nicola Taylor is asking if we can show her the contents of the £25 warehouse mystery bag. Again, we will in the next sort of 5 minutes or so, Nicola. So hang fire, and I'll take you back through another one of those mystery bags that are very, very busy.
Right, I'm going to peel the backing off here, Joe. So can you see that now? And then all you do is come in with your trimmer, and you can just trim this down, and you get a really nice background done with the foil. It's like it's a very different effect when you use the foiling to foil the background. So there's the star background, and that is just using up the waste that we had left over from the front. So I've seen a lot of cards where they look great. You'll maybe put that on the inside and the acetate on the front. So I'll just run you again through the different ones that we had in the set. So you did have, here we go, you had the burst. So there's the oval burst there in that one. And we'll go, oh yeah, well, sorry. I'm switching around. There's our oval burst. There is our square burst on there as well, which looks brilliant at working with a lot of our creator cards. It's like a very subtle peppered effect in the background. And don't forget, you can be using them onto all of your coloured card as well, or your patterned papers. I love them just on black. I think the coloured ones look fantastic. There's another one with the star on there. So what we get, the star, oh, and then the heart. The star, the heart, the square, and then let's have a look, star, the heart, the square, and the oval. Oh, I love this one. Look at that. With another foiled, you could be using your foil backgrounds as well. And the foiling is so incredible. Like I said, tune in next week for the full masterclass. However, this deal is a warehouse clearance deal. So you won't get these sort of levels of deals on the masterclass shows. We'll have some great deals, but not this sort of level of deep discount. So get them ordered today, and then tune in next week for the big masterclass.
Well, I'm a bit upset that we don't have those warehouse sales all the time, because I think I rock a hard hat and a high vis. What do you think? Yeah. I think I do. Anyway, enough about that. You can of course go back, find all these deals right now over on the website craftscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu. We've even allowed you to kind of filter out the shows within the best of, so you can get to the juicy deals that you want right away. Now, masterclasses are something we started doing pretty recently here at Crafters TV, and it's all about us really focusing on one kind of technique or one type of product. And recently it was a turn of the favour boxes. Here's some of the highlights.
Now, do you think I can just get started, John? Just kind of go for it.
Let's.
Yeah, right. So I'm going to start with that trinket box first. Now, can you see, this is the trinket box. I'm going to show you a couple of different options. When you look at the die set, here's the die set for you here. So can you see, this is the pattern that it makes. You've got here, this is what we call the worker die. So when I lift this out, this one here is the worker die. You've got two worker dies for this one that does the lid, one that does the base, and they all work. If I just get this onto some plain white cardstock for you, they all work in the same way in terms of we're going to cut it out twice and connect them together. Now all these extra bits, Joe, can you see you've got like an outer and then a cut in. These are like creator cards. So if you want to do, for example, this shorter box here, can you see it's going to cut in the pattern? So this has been cut in, cut out, stuck on the top, or when we get to some of the other ones, and I'll do this later in my demos, they're actually cut in to the front of the box. How awesome does that look? Where it's being cut into the actual box itself. So a couple of different options when it comes to doing these. If you are going for that big bumper collection, you also get the acetate. So I've included, this is the exact acetate that's been made from that's on the show. How incredible do the boxes look when they're made in acetate? They really look gorgeous and they hold their strength. So again, this one here as well, I'll let you have a little look from the close-up here. Can you see that is holding its strength absolutely beautifully because you get those neat rounded edges. So we'll have a little go with some of that a little bit later on as well. I'll try and cover off all of it, but I'm going to start with the kind of basics first, and I'm going to try and do something really simplistic because I want you, if you're watching at home, I want to know, by the way, if you've got these trinket boxes, if you've got any of these dies, definitely send us pictures if you've got them. But even if you're not sending us pictures, let us know if you've already got these and if you've had a go at making them, because I think if you haven't, it's going to be so simple to do these.
Questions coming in already, Sarah. With these four collections, do we need our big Gemini, or can we put some of these through our Gemini Junior?
Let me get that junior plate up and show you. Can you see these are going to fit perfectly in your junior? So wonderful. Can you see this is going to fit wonderfully well? I'm going to do it on the big Gemini because it means I can cut it two at once, but they're all going to fit into your junior as well. Or if you might have to cut a little bit and then move it up a little bit. Fantastic. Right, let's have a look. What I'll do is I'll cut it the way I would regularly for this one and hold it with a little bit of tape. So what I'm going to do is just hold this with a little bit of tape. I'm doing, just bear in mind, we're starting from the very, very beginning. So I'm going very simplistic with you. I'm going to cut these out. So we're going through the base card into the cutting plate. We're going to put our clear cutting plate on the top, then the magnetic, then the top plate, and we're ready to go through the machine.
Wonderful. Just to let you know, a lot of people are saying the acetate, is it available on its own? It is available on its own. It's really, really busy individually as well. Pop yourself across to the website where you can watch and shop at the same time, craftscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu, and you can watch Sarah's amazing demos and make sure you don't miss out on any of those bargains as well at the same time.
Well, also, if there's anything people want to see today, Joe, oh, look at that! I think I had a bit of pattern stuff on my top plate there. If there's anything people specifically want to see within this, Joe, please let me know. I am taking requests. Right?
Fantastic.
Now, can you see, this has put all the score lines in. What I like to do is I always fold the score lines away from myself. So whereas, if you imagine where it's cut on, don't fold it backwards. If you think about this, and Julie, I'm going to explain this because it's something brilliant to explain to people. When you look at a piece of cardstock, right, I'll wait till you've got me in there so you can see us. Let's have a look. Right, so when you are looking at the cardstock, if you think about it, you've got a flat piece of cardstock and you take your scoring tool and score down the middle. So what that does is that puts the fibres of the paper under a lot of pressure here. So this is where you get the indentation. And then what happens is you should fold it around like this, because this is where you've extended and expanded all those fibres, so that when you fold it around, they go around the bend. If you do it the other way, so if you score along the top and then you put the fibres under here, they're under a lot of pressure already. If you then try and fold it this way, you're going to get that cracking like this. So that's why when we've scored on the top, I never fold it backwards like this. I always fold it upside down and then give it a nice kind of burnish crease line like that. So all I'm going to do, Joe, is go through and burnish all of the edges. And I've actually cut 2 of these out. So I'm going to get another one cut out, and then fold and burnish all these crease lines. So as long as you can see what I'm doing, you are free to let me know what everybody's been saying about these.
Loads of chatter in the comments, which is lovely. But I think it's going to be, again, one of those days, I don't know if you joined us yesterday, where I struggle to keep you all abreast of what is going on, because it is really, really busy. Immediately this morning, I need to let you know about, the sentiment dies that I shared with you, expression ones. The third bundle that we have for you, the Sent With Love, Happy Birthday and Best Wishes. A lot of the stock's gone there, 25% already, over 25% I'm hearing now. So we're having a very, very busy start there. It's also incredibly busy, we couldn't quite believe it when we came in this morning, could we, Sarah, about this glue bun? I came in and I was like, you're not going to believe it, you're not going to believe it. The glue's back on the show.
And the good news for everybody is Bank Holiday Monday, so there's nobody in to do anything about it.
Absolutely, nothing that anyone can do. I know a fifth of the stock's gone there, but the glues are very, very busy. You buy the tacky glue, we give you the all-purpose completely free, which is amazing. Loads of you letting me know that you've got these boxes as well, which is fantastic. Beth's got them on order. Diane says she's out of bed and in her craft room. She has 2 of the 4 boxes, and she's finally opening them up today and crafting along, which is exactly what we want. Jennifer's got the bonbon and the gift card, and we'd love you to send us a picture, Jennifer. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. Julie saying good morning from Ohio. Ohio, Julie. I've got a new one as well. If you're from Iowa, you ready? You're going to like this one, Sarah.
Go on.
Iowa.
Does anyone actually watch from Iowa, or is that just you making that up?
No one. I'm waiting for someone to say they're from Iowa so I can use it, but I've been sat on it for like a week now, so I thought I'd just wheel it out anyway. Jenny, our TV manager, gave me that one, so shout out to Jenny. Iowa. Now
I can just picture her saying that.
Yeah, the Trends A4 cardstock. Congratulations if you got it. It has sold out and gone. Remember, we've got that mix and match on the website. Any 4 of those card packs there for £30 or $42. So great time today to get stocked up on all of our cardstock. We've got luxury cardstock in there. We've got A3 cardstock. We've got some of our luxury card packs in there as well. So there's loads of you, loads for you in there to get stocked up on. Who watched our Second Chance Sunday show yesterday? That's what I'd like to know. You watched it, of course you did. You were here. But if you did watch it, I'd love to know what you loved about it. Did you watch it? Did you enjoy it? Did you get stocked up on anything? Remember as well, that's not the only new show. Well, we're saying that the Craft House is a new. I'll tell you all about it in a minute, because I have a feeling that Sarah's moving on to her base. It's absolutely fine. The Craft House is.
I don't mind interrupting you, Joe, if I need to tell them something. That's no problem at all for me.
I know that. We have that kind of relationship. It's all good. Now, on Friday, what we'll be doing, of course, is bringing back the Craft House for you, which we are so excited about. The Craft House used to come to you every once a month, sort of, and it was usually on a Friday where we'd invite other crafty experts in for you. We were bringing it back, but we're bringing it back every single week, and it all kicks off this week. It'll be 2 hours for you, 4 p.m. on a Friday, 11 a.m. Of course, if you're on the East Coast, and we're kicking it off with one of our great brands that we stock on our website called Hunky Dory. Now, if you're in the UK, you'll know exactly who they are and who Anne Marie is, but if you're in the US, then you might not be so familiar with them. They do gorgeous, gorgeous crafty bits, and they will be here via the power of Skype on Friday, and I'll be here, and Sarah will be in the studio as well. It's going to be like a little party, isn't it, Sarah?
Well, it's going to be all of us, Joe. It's great because I'm going to be doing some demoing, Anne-Marie's going to be doing some demoing, you're going to be doing some chit-chatting, I'm going to be doing some chit-chatting, Anne-Marie's going to be doing some chit-chatting. It's like, I always like how you explain it, it's like having your friends round for tea, it's when your friends do different crafts. So Hunky Dory, for those of you watching in the US and don't know, are world famous for their incredible quality design and cardstock. I've had them on HSN before. We've brought their products to HSN, so I'm really excited to do a whole show just on Hunky Dory in the craft house. It's going to be awesome. So right, am I all right just to show everyone where we've got up to? Because I've got my glue in the way here. I feel like that's kind of teasing you a little bit because, it's not going to last the show.
Well, a quarter of that's gone, Sarah, already, so maybe put it away somewhere.
I'll tease you. Yes, you buy one, you get one free. So, right, here we go. So I've just stuck the box together and I've used tacky for the bases and for the lid where the two parts went together. But can you see it then holds together? It's just going to give me this lovely solid base. I use the tape pen for the edges for speed, but the tacky when we're layering up, and that gives me the base box to start with. Now what you're going to do is you're going to come in and you're going to use all of these extra pieces. I'm not going to cut in with this one, I'm going to cut pieces out. So these here, what you're going to do is you're going to just get a little bit of cardstock. In fact, I might bring in my Gemini Mini because it's going to be really quick and simple to do with the Gemini Mini. And I'm just going to cut this to... Here we go. It's so nice when you've got everything to hand, Joe. I kind of feel like you guys come here into our craft room. This started off, where we used to do all of our prep work for the Create and Craft shows and the HSN shows. We used to get everything ready from in here. And now you get to come in here and you just get to do the show with us straight away. So it's brilliant just having everything to hand. And, if we want to try something a little bit different, that's why if you say to me, would you be able to show us this, Sarah, or could you explain how that works? We can absolutely do that because we've got everything ready here. So what I'm doing is I'm just popping all these little bits in, Joe, cutting all these pieces out. So these are all matted and layered to be exactly the right size to go on the edge of our box. So you see this here is the one that fits on there like that. And then this one here is the one that fits perfectly on there. This next one is going to fit perfectly on the top. I'm just going to have a go cut them all out, Joe, and then I've also got some, I've ran some of them through an embossing folder so you can see the nice embossed design too.
Beautiful. Loads of you talking about Barbie makes me laugh. I feel like we may have ruined Barbie's sleep pattern somehow. Are you ready for this? Because I believe Barbie might be in Hawaii. If she's not in Hawaii, then she's on the West Coast. So, I mean, the time difference is vast, let's put it that way. She says, I had to watch it after it was on, talking about Second Chance Sunday, because I stayed up for the warehouse sale. So I fell asleep during the last hour, and then I slept for 15 hours. Needless to say, I'm awake now. We are sorry, Barbie. We're really sorry.
I am absolutely blown away by the notion that people in different places in the world are literally watching us at random times of day and changing their sleeping habits just so that they can come and watch live with us during the show. Do you know how awesome that makes us feel,
It's
guys?
great, isn't it? It really is.
Absolutely
Sorry, Barbie's
brilliant.
in California. Excuse me. I knew it was a long way away. She also says as well, she's up today swatching all of her markers and pens.
23 in California.
It's really early. She's up today swatching all her markers and pens, waiting on her metallic markers, so leaving space for them in the book as well. Oh, have a guess who's watching us?
Oh, Laura from Stanford.
Not Laura from Stanford, no. Debbie.
Debbie.
How are you, Debbie?
Oh, hey, Debs.
Now, me and Debbie are going to be together. We're going to be together on Wednesday night. We'll be here together for Creative Cravings. I think we might be having a bit of wine time back at the house together after that as well.
Oh.
And then I might even cook her dinner, actually. Oh. And then we are together on Thursday morning as well for the Cartload preview. So I can't wait for that, Debbie. I am so excited. Can't wait to see you. Barbie says, you guys are worth it. It's 3 a.m. here. We appreciate it. We really, really do. Very busy for that glue bundle. Very busy now as well, Sarah, on the Buy the Collection. Remember, when you buy all 4 of these, we're going to give you the Snow White cardstock and the acetate pretty much for free, which is fantastic, isn't it?
So, should we tell everybody, Joe? Because people might not know how we kind of set up here. So for those of you watching everywhere else in the world, actually for those of you even watching here in the UK, so we're up in the northeast of England, right? So our Debbie...
Where the weather is tropical.
Positively tropical at the moment. So our Debbie, Debbie is going to be with us in the week. Debbie actually started working for us. She took a job working in one of our stores, which is based in Chesterfield, which is in, I always say, the middle of the country, and that other people think that's hilarious because people would still think it was up north.
Oh, it's very north for me.
It's about an hour south of here anyway. So Debbie, that's where Debbie lives, near our Chesterfield store there. But when Debbie got promoted, you see, and became one of our crafting specialists, teaching people how to craft on TV, not just in one of our stores, that means she needs to go to Peterborough a lot, which is where we do the Create and Craft shows, because Debbie was on Create and Craft with me this morning and is on Create and Craft again later this afternoon. So as well as that, when she comes up to the office here, we have a special little Crafters TV flat, don't we, Joe?
Well,
so
it's not just a flat.
House.
It's a 3-story house. There's the Joe Rembrandt suite, which is also the name for my bedroom. It's very swanky. We have a lovely little dining room with a big table and chairs. We sit and have dinner. It's gorgeous. You'll have to come round for tea one evening, Sarah.
I'll have to, won't I? I did call round at the weekend for the first time. I didn't know which one it was. I called round and dropped Joe. I'd made him a little batch of fudge, which lasted all of 5 minutes.
5 minutes, yes, 5 seconds.
5 seconds. Well, I was being polite for you, Joe. So you see, that's why we the party kind of continues at what should we call it? Casa Companions, Casa Crafters, or whatever. It needs a special name, doesn't it? But anyway, yes, I feel very jealous that, so when Debbie's up, instead of staying at a hotel, it's much nicer that we get to stay at our Crafters Companion house. And you can go, I just feel like that's where all the fun happens, and especially if you're cooking tea, Joe.
Maybe you could win a stay. We could give
win a stay.
Win a stay.
Crafters Companion house. I love it. Brilliant. Right, let's have a little look. I've almost finished that one. This here, by the way, you don't need to see me cutting all these bits out. All I've done, cut these 3, well, there's 4 of them, isn't there? But I've just used 3 of them and done like a little flower to layer up on the top. Just layered that up because I wanted, oh, crikey, look at that big, I've got a big bit coming out. Yeah, that's not, I need to start and get the right top for that, Joan, so that it'll stick on. But how nice does that look? Oh, and then do you know what else you can do? This here is a little tag. So you can cut out the little tag, and then you've also got the words just for you. So the idea is, you see, that one's got thank you in that set. But if you wanted to cut out the tag and the just for you, I've actually done mine with a little for you. So can you see that there? I'm just going to lift this off, put this through back through there, and then put that off there, and now it's got the little for you. And when I make the next batch of fudge, I'm going to pop a little bit in there and just leave that for Leanne. Because I got a lot of abuse for not saving Leanne some last time, let's just say.
Absolutely, you did. Do you know what I love about these boxes, Sarah? Is yes, you've got the core shape there, but depending on how you decorate these, really transforms them. Whether you're going to use your mirror card, your matte mirror, your glitter card, are you going to use your pattern papers? What colours themes are you going to go with? Are you going to embellish it? Are you going to leave it plain? There's so much so many options, and they're so customizable that you're going to get something really, really perfect for whatever you are, for whatever you're crafting for. Now, there's different ways of you getting these. Now, there's 4 different options, remember. So you have the honeycomb favour box, which is this one just here. This beautiful 6-sided box. It's been so beautifully decorated, this one. You also then have the gift carton box, which is this one here. I love this one with some pattern papers and also a little bit of ribbon on there. So that is your other option. We then have this one here, which is the bonbon box. Oh, I love bonbons, which is that one. And then finally, the one that you've just seen, Sarah, mate, was the trinket box. I love how someone's used these beautiful panels here to decorate it. Remember, you're getting the die that's going to enable you to create that base structure. You're then getting all the panels that you need to decorate it as well. How would you do that normally? I think it would be pretty impossible. You need to be a mathematician to do that with a scoreboard. Now, if you want to go for them individually, they're available individually for you. They're $34.99 individually or $39.95. So don't do that deal. The best deal to go for would be the 2-4 deal that you've got there. So you can go for any 2 of these. Just get any 2 in your basket. And they'll be £50 or $60, which is a great deal. However, if you buy all 4 of them together, then we're going to give you even more goodies, because we're then going to throw into there. I mean, I don't know how we made the deal any better, to be fair, but we have. We can put some acetate in there for you, and we're going to put that gorgeous snow white hint of silver in there as well. £100 or $120 gets you all of those. Loads of you commenting along. I'm going to dive into these comments, but remember, if you want to watch and shop at the same time, it's really easy. If you want to go and watch that whole masterclass back, of course you can at any time. Just pop yourself over to the website. Whilst you're over on the website as well, don't forget you can watch and shop at the same time, as always, over on crafterscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu, and click Crafters TV, or just click the Shop Now button on the home screen. Now, I was here recently again with Leanne, and we were talking about our launch party, which is where we launched loads of brand new deals. Now, I could tell you about the deal, but do you know what? Here's the best bit of myself and Leanne from that recent launch party. Now with this, what you get is this pad. Now the pad has 48 sheets in here. You take the dies, you line the dies up over the pad, you cut this out for your Gemini or your Gemini Junior, and then what you do is you layer it up until you get this really dense, full, lush project. Now what you can also do is you can get creative with it. You can use multiple ones of these. You can even double them up and get double the depth and the height and the dimension on there if you want to. Then the thing is though, and I was a bit skeptical when I first saw it, because I thought, okay, well that's great, but then what happens when I run out of the pad? We'll bring the pads to you individually, but say you've used them all, you can't get your hands on them. So Leanne's and her team, being the mastermind that she is, also bought you these stamps as well. Now the stamps are going to complement your project beautifully, because you've got things like your sentiments in here, and you've got flourishes in here as well, but you can also use these for the dies that you've got in there as well. So you've got a project for now, you've got something that's going to work for you long term, and very, very easy to put your projects together. So you've got the sunflower, that's available on its own individually. £22 or $30 is a great price there. You've then got as well the peony blooms. These are beautiful, and what I think these are great for is, yes, use multiples on a card in a corner as a flourish, but just for a smaller card, like a little thank you card or a notelet or a thinking of you, or maybe something to adorn and decorate a box frame. There's loads of different ways to use them. That's the peony blooms, £22 or $30 for that one. And then check this one out. Look at how full and lush and dense that one is, the classic rose. It really is beautiful, and you can see what you're able to achieve when you layer up all of those die cut elements. That one's beautiful. And then finally, we've got the floral spray for you too. Again, they're all very of a style, aren't they? They're that traditional French floral decoupage, but you know the thing is with it, because it's not necessarily fashion, it is fashionable because it's something that you'll see a lot of all the time, but it means that it's timeless. It's not something that's going to go out of fashion quickly. I also love the fact because you could give them to anyone, you know, whether it was a birthday or an anniversary or whatever it was. Very craftable, very giftable, not really gender or occasion specific. Now, I know what you'll be thinking, that's brilliant, but I want the lot. Send it all to me. Then that's how you're able to get the best value, because we make it even better for you. £80 or $100 to get absolutely all of them. And the thing is as well, when you go for them all together, you can still use your Club Inspire discount if you want to. If you're not using your Club Inspire discount, or you don't have status in the club, then you'll get free shipping and handling. It's over $100 in the US. Or if you are using the discount, I'd stick a few of these 3D glue gels in your basket, get yourself bumped up to $100, and make sure you're not paying that $9.95 shipping and handling, which is a great way to go. Leanne, these are so clever, these dies and the pads, and something a lot of people just enjoy doing, just from a bit of a I was going to say mindless kind of sense, but a mindfulness kind of sense is I think what I was going for.
Absolutely, I agree with you. And decoupage has been an age-old technique for many years. My husband's Auntie Olive, if Auntie Olive's watching, hello Auntie Olive, is an amazing decoupager, but in the traditional sense of the word, where she would buy hundreds of the same image and then snip little pieces out and layer that up herself. And the works of art that she creates are exceptional. However, haven't got the patience or the time. And the reason we wanted to bring these pads with these dies actually comes from my frustration with decoupage, where I just haven't got the time or the patience to sit with scissors and cut each layer out, fussy cut each layer myself, but also I don't have the skill. And so very often, especially if it was a fairy or a little leaf or a frond or a stalk, I would just chop that thing off, because I couldn't be bothered to try and work my way around it. Whereas but I love the look of it. So if you love the look, but you don't have the time or the skill or the patience, or actually you just want to be able to do it quickly, you just want it to look really professionally done, this is for you. The fact that we've got those 48 sheets in there, and that's not 48 sheets where you need 4 sheets per topper, so you've got 12 designs. This is 1 full topper per sheet. So 48 cards with roses on from this one pad. Absolutely fantastic. So I've taken 1 sheet from my pad, which I've got there, and as we know, it does plenty. One sheet. I couldn't help myself, sorry. Now, the dies have a really fabulous little piece of technology built into them. And I just want to point out, can you see that number 1 there? So this is layer 1 of my decoupage, and this is my largest die. On the die, what we've done is create these little notches, which when you put the die face down... Bonus notches, because it's 1 sheet. When we put that face down, it lines up over that number, so you can see exactly where you need to get that positioned. So it takes all of the worry and the effort out of getting your dies in the correct place, Joe, because that technology is being built in. If we look at number 2 die here, we can see here's number 2 die, here's the little notch. I lie that face down. Is that number 2 die? No, it's not. See, now isn't that great? Because look, I could see from immediately doing that, that rose wasn't big enough and that notch wasn't lining up with my 2. So I haven't got the right die. So you don't even need to worry about that. You can just pick up the dies and then see by lining up the notch with the number, have you got the right one? Now I know I have got the correct one.
The rose, Leanne, yes, was the most popular, the rose. As we thought it would be, didn't we?
We did.
However, it's been pipped by the sunflowers, just taking the lead. And the sunflowers are 50 to stock gone individually. That will be the first one to go. And then when that goes, the only way to get it will be in the big bundle. Most of you going for the big bundle anyway, I must say. Loads of you saying hello. Who is it here? Melissa, right? Check this out, Leanne. Yeah. Watching in the pool this morning. Makes for a wonderful morning.
Oh my word. Can we go and live with Melissa?
That's unbelievable.
It really is unbelievable. And harsh, since we're stood here in the northeast.
I know, we're stood here in the northeast of England, being nearly blown off the face of the earth. I mean, I've never known a part of the world that's as windy as round here, Leanne. Blowing a gale every single day. It was balmy over the last week, and then I went out on my bike and it was blowing a gale. Have you ever tried riding a bike when it's super windy? It isn't fun, I'll tell you. And then I've only ridden the bike twice. I'll shut up in a minute. I've only ridden the bike twice. Went to take it out last night. Front wheel, flat as a pancake. The bicycle saga continues, Leanne.
Oh my word. We will get... Do you know what you can do? Because you've got your wheel in the car. When my husband pulls up to pick me tonight, he can stand by his car, you stand behind, wheel it at him.
Right.
He'll catch it, take it home and fix it, and then on Friday we'll wheel it back at you, because obviously we can't pass it because of the 2 meters, and then it'll be fixed.
Sounds amazing, and I'll be able to get out on my...
Yes, you will.
Get out and pedal on Saturday, which will be lovely, wonderful.
So you see, what I've done here is I've taken all of the dies and lined them up straight away onto that full sheet, and I've taped them all in place, so I'm ready to go. Then I just make up my sandwich, and you see, perfectly sized that sheet there for the junior. So line them all up, whiz them through, and it's going to die cut my decoupage for me. And it's incredible, honestly, so easy, Joe, to imagine getting all of these layers, 6 layers of decoupage, already cut precisely from a pad like that in one pass. So now when I pick these up, what you can see is I've got, look, they're just falling out, and I'm bringing this up as close as I can. I'm bringing this up and I'm angling it because, oh, hang on, forward. There we are. Dirty hand, ignore it. Look, no white halo, no fuzzy edge. That is even more precise than you would be able to get from a piece of manufactured die-cut decoupage. How exceptional is that? That's what you're going to be able to do at home. And it's because we've built in this fabulous little piece of technology with those little notches. You see, it's even cut my 3 little leaves out separately for me. You come out of their leaf. I've got every layer.
If you only had a mini, Leanne, could you sort of cut the bigger one out and then pop them through the mini just in a couple of passes?
Absolutely, you could, yes. So what you would do is, and I'll show you that with another sheet in a second, Joe. I'll show you how you would do that, because that would absolutely work if that's what you want to do. The dies will cut in the mini.
A lot of people are asking as well, what about if they ran out of the sheet? Am I right in thinking, Leanne, that this is available as a download as well if you run out?
Yes, absolutely. How remiss of me not to mention that. Thank you very much for that, Joe.
Don't worry, I didn't remember. Someone told me in the comments.
Oh, okay, great. Well, thank you, thank you, person in the comments. There is a link on the pad, and you will follow that, and you can download and print these yourself at home, so you'll never run out. We're not charging you for that. That's included. So once you've used the ones that you've got in this pad and you want more to work with your die, you can go and print yourself sheets to your heart's content. Now, you notice what I'm doing here is I'm using my bone folder and I'm giving my layer of decoupage some shape. And it's important with decoupage that you do that, because you want it to look 3D from the page. And look what I've done. I used 2 colours of my sparklings from those sparkle pots, Joe. Made myself a lovely sparkle background for my decoupage.
Oh, now whilst you're gluing away there, Leanne, do you mind? I'll stay in the corner up here.
Yeah,
I want to just run you through the individuals on the sparklings. Now, which one do we want to start with first? Oh, they're all on the same one. Right, we'll start with Enchanted Hues. This one just here. Oh, you're over there, sorry. How much of the stock? Is that a quarter of the stock gone there? This one is your most favourite. The Mystic Tones, which is this one here. This is the one with the peacock, the fig and the peony. A quarter of that one's gone. And of the Forest Glade, which has that red and the greens in there, 20% of that one has gone. This is a big stock as well. Bearing in mind, we only just launched these in the UK over the weekend, I believe it was, here on Create and Craft. So it's a new stock. Of that stock, a quarter of 2 and a fifth of 1 totally sold out and gone. Very busy still on the Butterfly Meadow and the Fairy Tale Dreams on the stamps that accompany those as well. Now you're using the 3D glue gel. Of course, we've got a great deal on that, Leanne. Is there anything else you could use if you didn't have that glue gel in your stash?
If you didn't have, I mean, really, I'm just going to say get the glue gel.
Okay, especially once it's on the deal.
It's the most efficient thing to do for your decoupage. You can use foam pads. However, what happens with that, I'm just going to show you with a couple of these pieces. See how I've got that lovely rounded shape, and I've hidden the glue gel by having it rounded in that way, so you can't actually see where the glue gel is, but I've got that lovely dimension starting to build up. When you use a foam pad, you can't shape it because you haven't got the rise and fall in the glue. You've just got a flat piece of foam. Okay. So actually all you can do is go flat, 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 and you just end up with a pyramid stack, and it doesn't look like a rose. Okay. So to get that beautiful shape, to get that rounded feel, for it to look and feel like a rose is coming off the page, a floral arrangement, just invest in yourself some glue gel, because you're going to really, really appreciate it and the result you can get. And you see here, I've shaped my next layer, and then I'm just taking my glue gel again, and notice I'm getting a really nice distribution across the whole of the topper for the glue gel. And I'm just making sure that I've got it on all of the sides and all of the places where I want a rise and fall. You can see that there. Then this piece, and you can use your tweezers as well if you want to, this piece comes over the top. And you see all I did there was line it up with where the design is underneath, and got a little bit of glue gel out there, come back. And then that's lined up beautifully. And if I just pick that up and show you, you can see how we're starting to build that beautiful dimension. And I'll do that, Joe, with every single layer. And what you do is you start with the largest layer. Of course, they're numbered on the pad, so you can follow the numbers. But if you get them all on the table like I've done here, and you're not following the numbers, what you do is you just start with the largest, work to the smallest, in exactly the same way.
Stephanie says, Crafts Companion has really made decoupage easy. Oh, let me try that again. Stephanie says, Assisi has really made the decoupage easy for anyone to put this together. No problems first time trying. So that's always good to know. So, you know, if any beginner grafters out there, you should be able to nail this first time. Kay, one of our regulars, says, I love that 3D glue gel for decoupage. Absolutely. Do you know what's better than just getting the 3D glue gel? Is when you buy the 3D glue gel and we give you the all-purpose completely free of charge. The all-purpose one, Leanne, that's kind of like your everyday go-to one, is it, I'm guessing?
Yes, so your all-purpose glue is the glue that I recommend for doing all of your matting and layering, for when you're sticking your beautiful scrapbook papers down, for when you're putting your cards together, because it's a solvent-based glue, which means that there is no water in it and therefore it doesn't soak into your papers and make them warp and bubble. And also when it sets like absolute concrete.
Okie doke.
So what happens with that is, even if you're using, let's say, a lesser quality cardstock, it makes a lesser quality card, a thinner card, feel like a really high-end, thicker cardstock. So it's brilliant for that. And the good thing is, that's the only thing I'll use to put my cards together is that amazing all-purpose glue. And the reason for that is, I know when I give my cards to people that I've spent time making, and obviously when I make something, I'm giving a gift of my time, which is the most love I can give, because time is the most precious thing that we have in this life. I want that to last forever. I don't want it to fall to pieces and dry out by using a piece of foam tape or double-sided tape. It's just, you know, the thing I've made is too important not to make sure that it's stuck together properly. Now look, I've done that, and when I tip this up so you can see, look at the 3D. That is the quality of the thick cardstock. It's a cardstock decoupage, not a paper cardstock. It's a thicker quality card. And by using your 3D glue gel, by using those layers, that rose is coming off. And because I've shaped it, it hides the glue. And because you're using the 3D glue gel, you've got that amazing rise and fall on there. And then you can see there that, of course, I've used that lovely sparkle background. That could be on anything, Joe. And that is just from one sheet.
Oh, it's such a pleasure to get to spend some time in our crafty studio with the lovely Leanne. Now, that's it for the Best Of show. It's been amazing. It's been so busy. Don't forget as well, you've got that really special deal on at the moment. Spend £30 or $30 or more. We'll give you an extra 10% off. Now, we're not done for the week. Normally, we're finished here now on Crafters TV. However, tomorrow means Second Chance Sunday, 4 p.m. Here in the UK with little old me, or 11 a.m. if you're on the East Coast. So I hope you'll join me tomorrow for that. But until then, have a great weekend. Take care.